Hello, Julian Gill here. I'd like to give everyone a little bit of an update now that we've announced the forthcoming 2016 book, Odyssey, a definitive examination of music from the Elder. This book has been in progress for a very long time, and I'm glad that we're able to finally announce it. As I've got to say, I'm very excited about it, even though we just published the Gene Ace, Peter and Paul book in September 2015. So it's an exciting time for me personally and for Tim McFate, who obviously will be the primary author of this work. I'm obviously a contributor to the project, and a lot of it is based on what we originally debuted on the KISS FAQ website back in, I think it was 2012, for Novelder, which was a feature which the book now encompasses interviews with a lot of the people who were involved in the creation of music from the Elder, so that we could get technical, artistic, creative, all sorts of perspectives from those intimately involved in the album and present it to our fellow fans to read. And just like the Gene Ace, Peter and Paul book, we support these interviews with a whole bunch of additional features that really lay out the lay of the land for KISS in 1981. We're going to talk about the planned touring. We talk about what really was going on in the organization, both from quotes directly attributed to the members of the band and from interviews with people associated with them, so that everyone who picks up the book can, look at 1981 and say, okay, I get where they're coming from. I understand a little bit more about the genesis of the album. And so much of that is obviously lost to time that we're not going to be able to cover absolutely everything. There's always going to be scope for further digging. So we've made the announcement that this book is going to be coming in 2016, so this year. And where do we stand now? Well, I just want to show you some of these galleys. I posted a picture of these up on the Facebook, and I want to explain them. Number one was a copy that I simply had made up for Tim to thank him for the effort that he had made in doing and guiding the Novelder project to culmination. And this is made right after we took down the feature, because obviously we were thinking that maybe this is something a little bit better than just a web feature, something that we can develop further. And obviously there were some gaps in what we ultimately presented. So that was January 2013. That's a long time ago that this has actually existed as a book. We jump forward a little bit, and as you can see, KISS's official artwork has disappeared. My name's popped up on the front as well. And, this was January 2015. So this is really the starting point of when we decided to get back together and start looking at it. And I think that those are about 6x9. They're pretty much just what the feature was. Since then, a lot of work has gone into the work. Interviews have taken place, as you will know from some teasers that we are posting, and some more that will follow. To which point we get to the bad boy. There's only a couple of these right now. This one's got to go to Gene. And hopefully, Gene, you'll be nice. So this one's September of 2015, and this is the first one that really has a lot of the changes coming. Obviously, I've moved it to 7x10 format because that's the same size as the Gap book, and it's to try and keep the economics realistic. So people often wonder, well, is your book real? Yeah, that's real. That could be published right now if we wanted to. But there's still some magic that we want to try and uncover, some interesting things, some additional people we'd like to speak to. And now that obviously I have a certain video, maybe that can be used to leverage. So what do we want from you? Well, we want to know what you want to know about the Elder. Obviously, a lot of you will have enjoyed the Novelder feature when we had it live on the website. And a lot of you hate the Elder, so hopefully you've already turned off this video if you're not interested. But we want to know, what do you want to know? What sort of details are you hoping that this book has in it? And there's a ton of really cool shit right now, I can tell you that. For those of you who follow my Facebook, you might have seen me post this purple folder, which I thought the purple was maybe going to give people an idea about Paul's headband, dating back to that era. there's a lot of notes. There's a lot of memos in here, a lot of documents, a lot of other shit, some of which we're not able to share for obvious reasons. But, there's collectors out there who have interesting documentation. I mean, if you've got some cool stuff from 1981, 82, and the period that this is going to cover, it basically starts January the 1st, 1981, through May 1982 and the death of Neil Bogart and the recording of Killers, or Kiss Killers. Don't shoot me for getting that title not exact the first time. So there's a lot of interesting things. I mean, we've got a lot of memos on touring, got budgets on planned tours, we've got scripts, which we can't obviously share, but we've got a lot of cool stuff. What I'm most interested in hearing is people who've got those test pressings out there, and there's quite a few. Have you done rips of them? What is the sequencing on those? Is it strictly, sort of like what turned up on the Japanese version? Does anyone have any unique stuff that they don't necessarily have to share, but if they can describe? I mean, it would be great to be able to pack everything about the Elder from these disparate sources into one book for the betterness, for the good of the KISS Army, because, we're not going to get the information on our own in all cases. We're going to get a lot of it. We may have gotten little tastes of some of the information. So if you got something to share about the Elder, and you'd be willing to contribute, we'd very much love, to talk to you. So you can find us in a couple of places. Firstly, come over to Facebook, and we have Odyssey Elder Book is the Facebook page that we've set up for this book, and we're going to be putting a whole bunch of teasers, videos. You'll just have to check it out and like it and follow it to find out. We also have a Twitter, Odyssey Elder, which you can follow, and a website, which is currently under a little bit of development. We hope to have a slightly better one up shortly, but for right now it's kind of a placeholder, but you'll be able to get the basic information at kissodyssey.com. Now, as I said before, this book is real. It exists right now. It exists today. There are some things that we really want to try and do to make this book very special, because for me personally, The Elder is a very special album. It doesn't matter what you think about it artistically. Everyone's got their own opinions, and that's fine. But I think as far as it goes in the KISS catalog, it's a fascinating area to dig into, even though it lacks the popularity and commercial success of so many of their other albums. So Tim has a different, viewpoint on the album as well that, drove him to be interested in this. So hopefully that both of these are going to come through in the final product when it is published later this year. And of course, we'll give you all the dates and all the details on that. One thing I will say up front is that I'm hoping to publish with a company who can do hardbounds. And finally, the artwork that you just saw there is not the artwork of the book, because, that's crap. That is just temporary from a picture I took in Vegas of that Elder door at the mini golf, which, let's pimp them. If you haven't been, go when you're in Vegas, because it's fantastic, good fun, and they play some really good music there for some reason. So if you got something to contribute, something to say, something that you think we should at least check off our checklist of things to cover in the book, and we may shoot you down saying, not interested. Get in touch with us at any of those three places that I've mentioned, and obviously you know where to find me. So we appreciate your support. Hope you guys have a wonderful 2016, and I'm looking forward to this book as much as I am. See ya.